All right, in this video, we're going to go through the Chapter 3 Progress quiz for Year 11 General. So we'll start off with the multiple choice questions. So first of all, if x plus 4 equals 9, then x is equal to, so this is not a difficult question, but we'll do it anyway. So x plus 4 equals 9. So you can do this on your calculator, but it's quite easy to do by hand. And you should also know how to do it by hand because often in general or in your further exam, you'll have a show that question or questions that say show that. So you do need to know how to do it by hand. So that one there is x equals 5. So the correct answer is C. All right, second question. If a minus 7 equals 22, then a is equal to, so we've got a minus 7 equals 22. To get rid of that 7, add 7 to both sides, so that disappears. 22 plus 7 gives you 29. Question 3, the solution to the equation s minus 10 equals 54, so s minus 10 equals 54. Add 10 to both sides, and you're left with s equals 64. So the answer is D. Number 4, the solution to the equation 5y equals 35. So 5y equals 35. Now this is 5 times y, so the opposite of that is by dividing by 5. So we're left with y equals 7. So the correct answer is C. All right, moving over the page, question 5. Y over 4 equals 6. So that's y divided by 4 equals 6. So when we're dividing, the opposite is multiplying. So we just multiply by what that denominator is. And whatever we do to the left-hand side, we do to the right-hand side. So y is equal to 24. Question 6, the solution of 2x plus 6 equals 13. So 2x plus 6 equals 13. Now, when you've got more than one term, always get rid of the constant first. So in this case, the 6. So we get rid of that by subtracting 6. So we've got 2x equals 13 minus 6 is 7. And then divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 3.5, which is A. Okay, question 7, the solution of 2 times x minus 4 equals 6. So this time, like before I said you have to do the constant first, unless there's brackets. So we get rid of this 2 first. Some students like to expand the bracket, but that's probably a step you don't need to do. But if you take your time, you'll still get the same answer. But get rid of that 2 first. You don't need to expand that bracket. So then we're left with just x minus 4 on the left-hand side, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. Add 4 to both sides. So x is equal to 14, which is there. Okay, question 8. If a is equal to 6, b equals 7, then 2a plus 4b, So 2a plus 4b. Now, everywhere you see A, you have the number 6. Just make sure it looks like a 6 and not a B. And then B is 7. So 2 times 6 is 12. 4 times 7 is 28. So 12 plus 28. Whoops, I was about to write 30. It is 40. So your correct answer is C. Question 9, the expression 2x plus 4y equals 11 can be arranged for y as. So I'm just going to write that, 2x plus 4y equals 11. Now we want to get the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 2x from both sides. So we're left with 4y, 11 minus 2x, and then we've got a 4 in front of the y, so let's get rid of that. Now I'll just stop here because I'm going to look at the form my answers are in, and I can see I've got the over 4. So I'm going to do the same there. You can, I might just do it over here. Oops, don't know what I did there. Okay, 11 over 4 and 2x over 4. So that's actually the same thing. Okay, so that's the same as what I wrote on that side. I've just separated the fractions. Okay, so 11 minus, did it again. Okay, so y equals 11 minus 2x over 4. Oops, so the correct answer is D. Okay, question 10, the solution to 3 times x plus 4 over 2 equals 8, correct to 2 decimal places. So here you could use solve on your calculator. So I'm not going to get the calculator out because it'd be too time consuming, but I'm just going to write what you would put in the calculator. So you just use the solve function and then you type in your fraction. Now, when you're writing this, just double check that when you press enter, it actually looks like this. So your calculator should display it as a fraction. And always remember comma x. Okay, so we're solving for x, so it's comma x. So you can do that on your calculator if you can't do it by hand. Okay, oops. Oh, sorry. Don't know why I keep doing that. Okay, so let's quickly write this down. All right, you can get rid of the 3 and the 2 all in one go, but I'm going to do it in 2 goes, 2 steps. So multiply this left-hand side by 2. What did we do to the left? Do to the right. Then 8 times 2 is 16. Now I've got to get rid of that 3. Now I don't like questions like this where they don't work out nicely, so I'm just going to leave this as a fraction and then deal with it later. So 3 goes into 16 5 times with 1 remainder. And then, subtract 4 from both sides. So that goes 5 and 1/3 minus 4. So it's 1 and 1/3. And that's the same as D, correct to 2 decimal places. So 1/3, 0.33. Okay, moving on to question 11. Good scroll, thank you. All right, the solution to the simultaneous equation. So this one here, you can just use your calculator. You won't be expected to do it by hand. So some of you do solve by a system of equations. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, but I'm, whoops, can't spell solve. Go away. There we go. So you can just do solve and then type in your 2 equations, or you can do system of linear equations, I think the other function is. But the other day someone asked me why that system of linear equations didn't work, and it was because their equation was in the form A and B, and the solve on their calculator was X and Y. So just make sure at the end you always have X and Y. When you're just using the solve, you just need to do comma X and it'll do it for you. Okay, so I'm just going to pause so I can get the answer. Okay, so when you do that on your calculator, and assuming that I've typed it in correctly, you get x equals 4 and y equals 3. So just make sure you select the right ones because they do have to be in that order. So x equals 4, y equals 3 is not the same as x equals 3, y equals 4. Okay, so let's scroll. Keep scrolling. All right, question 12, the point of intersection of the line shown in the diagram. So we always do our x value first. So we'll go on the x-axis. So we're at -2. So you can see there's either B or E. And then we're at, y equals 1. So your correct answer for that one is B. All right, extended response questions. So I'm going to pause there because I'm nearly at 10 minutes. So the extended response will be in the second video.